Welcome to TORAH Talk. I am your host, William Hall, broadcasting live out of Kingsland, Texas, USA, with episode number 18 of Hebrew for Fun and Profit with Gavriel Sanders. Gavriel, my dear brother and teacher, welcome back to the show. Always a pleasure, sir.
It's an honor. So, well, sir, that's what I call my father. So, and I'm not adopting any further kids myself. So that's quite all right. So,
that's funny.
First of all, we haven't seen each other for a little bit. So
it has been a while.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, it's nice to see you. So, Ma Shlomcha, how you doing?
Very good. Torah. Gracias.
Es un gran placer, amigo.
That's funny. Oh, man.
Yo tengo alguno muy picante para tu comida muy sabrosa. Actually, anybody out there that likes, spicy things, which I do selectively, there's actually a tremendous, let me put the glasses on here, Middle Eastern kind of a condiment that is delicious to add to food. I'll kind of bring it up here, see if you can see it. It says green schug is what it's called, schug. This is put out by a company called Ta'amti, which means I tasted. And it's a product of Israel. It's distributed by B&W Foods out of Bayonne, New Jersey. So 718-369-4600. That's once again 718-369-4600. Operators are standing by now. No, they're actually not. They're all passed out from eating too much schug. So
that's funny. Yeah.
But good. If you like hot pepper mix or something, it comes in green and it comes in red, and it's delicious on just about anything. I had it on Chinese food tonight, so it's quite nice. So I want to say also, can you see what's going on over my right shoulder? I guess to the left side of your screen.
Absolutely can, yes, sir.
You should see two sets of Chanukiot burning in the background there. That's mine is the taller one. My wife's is next to it. Nice. And we lit about an hour ago or so. Those are olive oil candles that are burning in the window out. We're on the second floor, so the light goes down into the streets. If you go down my street here in where we live here in Queens, New York, it's just about every house. There are some neighbors you go to, and they're lit up on the outside with all kinds of other holiday lights. But this particular neighborhood where we have a few thousand Jewish families, it's a very densely Jewish area. To walk down the streets and see all the lights, and each night as we go from the first little vulnerable candle and then all the way up through the 8 nights. So tonight is the 6th night of Hanukkah, if anybody's counting. Yes. And this is a night where each night we're able to, where there's kind of a theme to what we can ask for. Tonight's theme is Simcha, which loosely translated happiness, but it goes much more than that. We've had the conversation before, and I just spoke to my high school students this last week on a particular day where every class, from chemistry to math to biology to Hebrew and history, every class the theme was Hanukkah. And in my class, we talked about the subject of the injunction from the Baal Shem Tov that was echoed by his great-grandson, Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, whose teachings I'm very, very, I was going to say addicted to. I mean, his philosophy, his thought is so germane to us today. And it's as if 200 years ago he saw our day when he said in his day great atheism was coming into the world. And he provided profoundly simple concepts that have extraordinary depth. And one of those, as he echoed the thought of his great-grandfather, the Baal Shem Tov, was mitzvah gedola liot b'simcha tamid. We're going to work on this word tamid tonight. It's part of a song we're going to learn. But the word tamid means always, with continuously. Mitzvah, we all know that word. Right. It's a commandment, but really, commandment is really an inferior definition of the word mitzvah. Mitzvah is really a connection. The root word of it is to join, connect to, tzav, right? So to connect with, as you well know. And so it's a great connection. Lihiot, to be, see, that's the question. Lihiot or lo lihiot, zot ha'she'ela, to be or not to be, that's the Shakespearean question. It's a mitzvah gedola liot b'simcha tamid. And that word, b'simcha, in happiness, if we scramble the letters of b'simcha, it really tells you the locus, not locust, but locus, the local point, the locale of simcha. And it's the word machshava. You have to change the sin to a shin. You have to move the bait to a veit. You know, there's a little kind of flexibility in terms of how the letters can adapt. But besimcha can be rescrambled to mean machshava. And happiness is something that resides not in the externals of what we have, but it's an inner state or quality of contentment that's derived from knowing who you're attached to. So that state or quality of contentment, abiding, and it's a wonderful state to be in, as long as a person is connected. If we lose that connection, then we understand that we're not besimcha. Something else we've talked about, I think, distantly in the past, is that there, among the Hebrew months, there are 2 months that specifically mention simcha as we come into those months. One is the month of Adar. Adar is the month in which Purim took place, and that has connection to this month as well, of Kislev with Hanukkah. Okay. Because Hanukkah, what's the relationship between Hanukkah and Purim? Purim was the effort by Haman to physically annihilate the Jewish people. Hanukkah was an effort by the Greeks, Hayavanim, right, to spiritually annihilate the Jewish people. And if you see over here in the corner here, in the upper right-hand corner, we have the Hebrew name, and still the name today. This is an ancient name, and it's also the name today for the country of Greece. All right, Greece. And if you notice, it's a very unusual combination of letters. Yavan is what it's called. But we'll not focus on the vowel points at this point, but just look at the consonants themselves. You have a yud, and a vav, and a nun sufit. And if we understand what the basic philosophy of the Greeks was, they were committed to something that we could easily describe as the holiness of beauty, whereas Judaism was focused on the beauty of holiness, just the opposite. And the Greeks, of course, worshipped everything natural. That's why they had such an emphasis on the body, on architecture, on sensory things, foods, etc. And if you look, you see that the Greeks start out looking like they're elevated. They're up above, as it were. That's something superior. And then it comes down to with being equal, access to where you are. The Vav kind of represents a person standing there on the ground. But then it goes down further and takes a person, what's called Yerida, takes them down into the depths, a place you really don't want to go. But that was the ultimate destination of the Greek culture. I guess I've said it this way, that you know, when normal becomes subnormal, then real normal becomes abnormal. You have to think that through a little bit. But so in other words, when subnormal becomes normal, then that which is normal becomes abnormal. That's what those letters kind of represent to us here. That subnormal became normal, and therefore normal became abnormal. So just something to think about in terms of that we all live in this world of perceived realities, as a friend of mine just wrote a song about today, Yaakov Klein, my good buddy, whom I call Achi Mori, my brother, my teacher. He's like 22 years old, and he's off the scale brilliant. He's written 2 books, and he's on to his 3rd now that he's working on. He's a musician, and maybe sometime it'd be good for you to meet him. He's just a really, really refreshing young man with a very, very old soul.
Awesome.
So this time of Hanukkah comes at the darkest time of the year, of course, when the nights are the longest and the days are the shortest. And all of this is very, very critical in terms of kind of the whole spiritual focus of Judaism, to hang on to the real light. And also the Baal Shem Tov said, Ma'at min ha'or doche harbe min ha'choshech. That would have been a good saying to put up here. Ma'at min ha'or, a little bit from the light. Doche, puts off, postpones, pushes off. Doche, harbe min ha'choshech. Much from the light, from the darkness. Ma'at min ha'or, doche, harbe min ha'choshech. And so the little candles that you can see, the actually olive wicks burning behind me there, if we were to turn the lights off here in the home, you know, they would provide some amazing light. But we don't use them for anything. There's actual when we say the bracha and we sing a song after we say two brachot, when we lit, it says Ein lanu rashut lehishtamesh bahem. We don't have permission to use them. Ela lirotam bilvad, only to see them alone.
Gotcha.
That's what. So anyway, it's been a wonderful Hanukkah here. We had snow this week here in New York.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, not a lot, but it was enough to do a little shoveling. And so anyway, today our focus is just superficially on Hanukkah just to begin with. But I really want to give a gift to everyone in the form of an interesting song that has been part of Israeli musical culture for a long, long time. It's a very famous children's song, and I like it a lot for many reasons. One, it's the melody kind of sticks with you. It's one of those that I hope it won't become the Hebrew version of It's a Small World After All.
Right.
Because people say, no, I can't do that. But it's a very famous song, and we're going to look at a version of it. There are a couple of versions floating around on YouTube. And we're going to look at one that was done by a very famous Israeli singer named Uzi Chitman. Sounds like Hitman, but it's Chitman.
Gotcha.
Uzi Chitman, that he did on a particular children's program. And I like it also because it has a lot of opposites in it. And one of the better ways to learn a language is where you're learning pairs of things like Gadol and Katan,
right?
Sameach and Atzuv, and these words are four of them in there. And I've also put together, we're going to look at that in a minute, the song loosely translated in English is I Always Stay Me, Ani Tamid Nishar Ani. And it goes through a whole cornucopia of a child saying, well, sometimes I'm this way and sometimes I'm that way and sometimes I'm this way and sometimes I'm that way, but I always stay me, basically.
Right.
Now, for those of you, this is one of those programs where if you don't normally get the PDF for the program, this is one that would be advisable for you to have because the slides have a lot of information in them. And these links here would be important to you because I don't know about you. Do you really want to type out that link there? Whoops,
right.
I didn't go there.
Right.
Sorry, let me fix that.
That's okay. So GavrielSanders@gmail.com. So if you want this PDF, the email is on your screen. I'll leave that up for a minute so you can write it down. And just, you can contact them that way. And also, GavrielSanders.com is your website, right?
But there's nothing there right there.
Oh, okay. It's under construction, probably. Okay.
Under construction. Yeah, I took everything down that was there and plan to redo it. So, But yeah, just GavrielSanders@gmail.com to communicate with me, and that'll be fine. So,
awesome.
What we're going to do then is I want to go through the vocabulary of the song. I've tried to beef it up with some easy graphics to help you out a little bit. And then let me just drop down here for a second to right here. Okay, you can see that?
I can see it, yes.
Okay, so there's a site that I use a lot as an educator called Quizlet. And some teachers amongst us, or even students, may have used Quizlet. We use it a lot for language learning because it's really great for that. So I have a whole list here of the terms. You can see them here, but they're really easy to present. If you go to that link, and you have an option here to learn the words, and it'll bring them up in kind of a little game form.
Nice.
Now, you couldn't hear that, could you? It said,
no, correct.
It said Pismon Choser, and gives you a choice here of which one is it, and then you can, in this case, it's the chorus of a song.
Gotcha.
And it gives it to you in English and in Hebrew, and if you're not sure, you want to go over here, and you can press the button here and listen to it.
Okay.
It's my voice going Pismon Choser, so you can go through. So it gives you, just quick and easy way to do that. And then you can go back if you want to, and you can use the flashcards. And the flashcards are coming up here. Okay, they are. There they go. Okay, so you have some options over here, lower left-hand corner, where you can, for example, put them both up on the screen if you want to, which is a good way to start with it. And it'll say it to you in Hebrew. You'll hear it. You can also push the button, and it'll say it to you in English, and then you can go on to.
Excellent.
But then you can also, you have the option to go over here and then change it, and just see the flashcard in Hebrew and think, okay, now what is that? And then you can flip it around. Flip it around.
Oh, cool.
And it'll give it to you that way.
Nice.
You can go on to the next one. Okay, so that's Quizlet. So you'll have access to that now. You can just go and use it as much as you want. Then, if you really want to get radical with yourself, you can do a self-test. Press on the test button. I go over here to options, because it'll generate a test for you automatically just pulling from the database. But it's not good at written questions, and you don't want to do that anyway. So I go over to options, and I toggle certain things off.
Okay.
So I toggle everything off, and then say you just want matching, for example. It automatically generates 20 of 36 questions. So if you just want a limited number of words, you can do that. You can also show the images. I'm going to put all 36 in here for right now. And now it's all matching.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So you can do it that way, or any other way you want. You can print it off. It'll grade it for you, and that's the way that works. So the other link that's in here, of course, is to the song itself. YouTube videos, I run through something called ViewPure, which just kind of strips out all the other surrounding content that's in YouTube. ViewPure only works with YouTube videos.
Okay.
But it gets rid of pop-ups, and it gets rid of, like I said, the other surrounding context of things. Because sometimes there are things there you might be interested in, but oftentimes there are things there you're really not interested in. So, so I like ViewPure for that purpose. I went to a seminar last summer, and the best thing I got out of it was ViewPure. So we'll come back to that in just a few moments. So let me get this back up to where we were here. Let's see. We were over. Sorry, I'm going to kind of look over my other screen that I have behind me.
That's all right. There you go. Okay.
And let's go to full screen. So you should be able to see it. Okay. So let's tackle this fun song. The chorus. Do you know these two words?
Lepamim, tamid. You told us tamid. Lepam. The root word would be pa'am, but I don't know what lepamim is. I don't know what pa'am is.
You notice that there's no dot.
Oh yeah, it's fa'im. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Lifamim. Lifamim means sometimes.
Okay, gotcha.
So pa'amim are times. So we have the word pa'am and pa'amayim, which means twice. Pa'amayim, like oznayim, aka
right.
Sfatayim, so pa'amayim, twice. And pa'amim are times. So lifamim, so literally it means 2 or 4 times.
Can I ask you a quick question real quick? Because
that was one.
Let me ask you a question real fast. So it's pa'amayim, and lafa'amayim. Those are the same root word.
Yes, they're often the same root.
Whether it's pay or fay. Right. So what determines when it loses or gains a dagesh?
Okay. So that's a very, very typical biblical Hebrew kind of question that you would bring up.
Okay.
And so in this case, because the lamed is in front of it here, and we've talked before about bump letters, which are beit, vav.
Okay.
Mem and pei, which change the vav from v to u. Okay. We've talked about that. And then there are what are known as the beged kefet letters or begad kafat letters that take a dot and sometimes lose them, which we call dagesh chazak and dagesh kal. So in this case, there was a dagesh kal in here that fell out. So the fact that, the easiest answer I have for you, the most comfortable one is when you say to me lama and I just say kacha, which means you say why and I say, because that's the way it is, kacha.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
We could do a lot of circumlocutions, or what we call in Hebrew shminiot ba'avir, which is like eights in the air, going back and forth. Great expression, shminiot ba'avir.
Okay.
But this is the way for easier on your brain. If I just say the word lifamim means sometimes.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good.
And tamid is always.
Okay.
And then another word that comes up all the time in the chorus is nishar. Nishar. Which means, it's Brexit, which means remain.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so the song begins, and the word lifamim comes up probably 16 times at least through the song. There are 4 verses, which the verses, by the way, are called batim. That's in your vocabulary list. You know the word bayit,
Yes, right.
when you think of a house, right?
Right.
Bayit.
Right.
But it also means a verse.
Oh.
So I'll teach you the word for chorus also. We'll come up with that. So in Bait HaRishon, the first Bait, or Bait Aleph, the first one, Lefamim ani atzuv. What do you think atzuv means?
I don't know. Tzav?
Don't analyze. Look at the picture.
Oh, sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lefamim ani atzuv.
Okay, gotcha.
So lefamim sometimes ani, I
am, right,
sad.
right.
Now where's am, are, or is here?
Ani would be I. Oh, am sad? Oh, there isn't one, is there?
No.
Okay.
So for those of you that are just kind of new to the equation of Hebrew, am, are, and is doesn't exist. We have it in the future and we have it in the past. I will be or I was, but in the present doesn't exist. So really we're saying here sometimes I sad.
Right.
Which sounds pretty sad just to someone who's used to English grammar.
Yeah.
Right? So lifamim ani atzuv. And as I said to you, this song is loaded with hafachim, which are, if you look at how my fingers are going, hafachim,
Okay.
opposites.
Okay, gotcha.
Ha'efech, hafachim. V'lifamim, sameach.
So, yeah.
Lifamim ani zocher. Why do you tie a string on your finger?
To remember things.
Lifamim ani zocher. V'lifamim,
Oh,
shocheach.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget. Okay, got it.
Yeah, the pictures help you out.
Socheach.
Lefamim ani savea.
Okay, the full.
What do you think savea? Full, exactly right.
Okay.
Lefamim ra'ev. I'm hungry. I want to eat. And by the way, I'm giving you the masculine and all
Yeah,
these.
okay.
The song's written in the masculine.
Okay.
So. Lefamim ani koes.
Gotcha.
Lefamim ohev.
Yeah.
So that was the Bait HaRishon.
Okay.
And I don't mean First Temple because you said Bait HaRishon.
That's what it sounded like, right?
Okay.
That's
right.
funny.
But Bait HaRishon, in relation to a shir, when we talk about shir, is the first verse. Okay, now we're coming to the Pismon, or what we call the Pismon Choser. Aval, word but, Aval ani, tamid nishar ani, tamid nishar ani, tamid nishar ani. That's how it go. We'll play the song shortly when we get through these words. So that's the first verse. All the verses are supported with graphics that should make this very easy. Lefamim ani gadol. Gadol does not mean elephant, by the way.
Great.
Lefamim ani gadol, lefamim katan.
Right, large and small.
Big, small, large and small, big and small.
Gotcha.
Lefamim ani gadol, lefamim katan. Lefamim ani gibor.
Strong.
Strong, sure.
Mighty.
A hero, right.
Gotcha.
Lefamim pachdan. Pachdan is a scaredy cat.
I gotcha. Right. Nice.
Lefamim ani beyachad, together. Now look at the word here, because if you look at it carefully, you see be, like in or with, yachad, one or united.
Okay.
Ani beyachad. Lefamim ani beyachad. Lefamim levad.
Right.
Okay, alone.
Gotcha.
Lefamim ani ba'emtza. Be'emtza. I'm going to stop on this word for a moment because it'll be easy to remember. First of all, be'emtza. What is the sound of the second syllable in be'emtza?
The second syllable?
Mm-hmm. Be'emtza.
M.
Sounds like M, right?
Right.
And what is this letter here that's in the middle of the word?
Mem.
Mem.
Mm-hmm.
Say, where is the mem in the relation to these the letters here and here? Where's the mem?
In between, in the middle.
Yes. Where is this sheep?
In the middle. Okay.
So be'emtza means in the middle.
Gotcha. Oh, nice. Very good. I like that. Yeah.
And by the way, mem is the middle letter of the Hebrew alphabet. If you take aleph on one end and taf on the other end,
right,
the middle letter is mem. And if you take the first, middle, and last letters in the Hebrew alphabet, you have the word emet.
Oh, nice.
Emet.
Right.
Nice.
Nice.
Rabbi Singer might say emes. Rabbi Skobac might say emes.
Right.
But we say emet in modern Hebrew, which is the word for truth. So lefamim ani ba'emtza, lefamim b'tzad. Sometimes this has nothing to do with sad, but it sounds very much like the meaning of the word in English. Sad, side.
Okay.
Sad, side. So let's go back and do a quick review here.
Okay.
לפעמים אני עצוב, לפעמים שמח, לפעמים אני זוכר, ולפעמים שוכח. לפעמים אני שבע, לפעמים רעב, לפעמים אני כועס, ולפעמים אוהב. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני גדול, ולפעמים קטן. לפעמים אני גיבור, ולפעמים פחדן. לפעמים אני ביחד, ולפעמים לבד. לפעמים אני באמצע, ולפעמים בצד. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. We're halfway through the song.
Okay.
So that was Bait HaSheni and the Pizmon. Now let's go to Bait HaShlishi. לפעמים אני כינור, ולפעמים תופים. And by the way, this word kinor, interesting for a couple of reasons. Today, a kinor is what you see in the picture. But in the ancient world, this is an ancient Hebrew word. Kinor was a harp. David HaMelech, King David, played a kinor. Now, do you know the Hebrew word for the Lake of Galilee?
No.
It's okay if you don't. So
Okay.
some people will, okay? It's related to this word.
Okay.
It's called Kinneret.
Oh,
Kinneret.
right. Okay, cool.
You may have heard that.
Yeah, that
and
does
what's
sound
the
familiar.
relationship? If you look at a map of Israel and you look at the Sea of Galilee, which is known as Yam Kinneret, it looks like a harp,
Okay.
which got a bulge on the left side of it and got a little straighter as you go down the En-Gedi side. But not En-Gedi. It's been so long since I've been there. So, but look at the map and you'll see this. But today, kinor means violin, and tupim are drums.
Gotcha.
Lefamim ani ketzi, and I put a little footnote here. Kamo, which means like or as, kamo kites, and they're flying kites, which is an easy way to remember what kites means. When do you fly kites?
A windy day.
On a windy day, and usually in the summer.
Gotcha.
Okay? It's like a nice summer. So, lefamim ketzi, kites is the word for summer. Ketzi is an adjective and it means summer-like or summery. So the singer is singing lefamim ani ketzi, sometimes I'm summery. And look, here's the opposite. Lefamim chorpi. Now here's, by the way, where the dagesh
The harp. Yeah.
comes in. Because
Gotcha.
here's chorpi, but here it's choref,
Okay.
the face of feet.
Okay, gotcha.
Because it's very, very rare that you have a pay. So if that something ends with the sound p, that usually is a loan word or a foreign word. So
Okay.
lefamim ketzi, v'lefamim chorpi. Lefamim ani atzlan, v'lefamim charutz. Atzlan is somebody who's lazy. So if this is atzlan, then what must this be?
Not lazy?
Lo atzlan, very good.
Yeah.
Somebody who
Atzlan.
was charutz.
Lots of energy.
And by the way, the early pioneers of Israel, especially the kibbutzim, they were called charutzim.
Oh, nice.
It means pioneers, but really means people who were diligent, hard workers.
Oh, nice.
So charutz is a hard worker.
Okay.
Lefamim ani matok. Lefamim chamutz. So what do you think matok is?
Sweet.
Yep. And here you have the opposite, chamutz, like a lemon.
Yeah.
It's chamutz. Pickles in Hebrew are called chamutzim. Chamutzim.
I really appreciate
Thanks.
all the illustrations you're going through with this. This is the visuals are really nice and the colors are bright. It just feels good watching it. It's good. Good job. Good job.
Well, I thought about it, and I thought I'm just going to take a little time to do it right, So,
Yes.
and then we're back to the chorus. Aval ani tamid nishar ani, tamid nishar ani, tamid nishar ani. לפעמים אני חכם. He was very chacham.
Right.
Or as we say in modern Hebrew, intelligenti.
Right.
Intelligenti. הוא היה מאוד אינטליגנטי, ולפעמים לא אינטליגנטי.
So chachma is intelligent or wise?
Chokhmah is wisdom.
Wisdom, right? So
and chacham is wise. And sometimes the Sfardim call a great rabbi ha-chacham, the wise one.
Gotcha. Cool.
So we talk about ha-chacham Ovadia Yosef, Zechron Levracha, and other chachamim, the Bnei Ish Chai, and others down through many Sephardi rabbanim that are known as chachamim.
Nice.
We also refer to the wise sages. The sages of the Talmud are called chachamim. So lifamim ani chacham, and what's the opposite? I mean, look what he's doing here. 6 minus 6 equals 3. The lifamim tipshi. Tipshi means silly or dumb or stupid, or silly is a better translation of tipshi. A tipesh is like a fool, and someone who acts tipshi is a person who's acting foolish, silly.
That's really funny because, like in English, when somebody has had a little bit too much wine, it's tipsy. Yeah, a little tipsy.
Yes, I thought about that connection, but I'm glad you made it. So that's why you're the producer.
Yeah, that's why you're the teacher.
Lefamim ani rishon. What does rishon mean?
Like the head or beginning first.
Yeah, first. Okay. Look where he's standing here.
Right, gotcha.
It's like in the Olympics. Lefamim shlishi.
Second. Oh no! Oh yeah, I just see. I'm not paying attention to the numbers. Yeah, shlishi, shalosh. Right, got it.
Shlishi.
Got it.
Lefamim ani tofes. By the way, you can see what tofes means, but it also is a slang expression for ani mevin. I understand.
Very good.
Okay. Ani tofes ma ta omer. I catch what you're saying. Ani lo tofes ma ta omer. And lefamim tafus. Now, tafus can mean caught. Okay. It's the passive form of this. It can mean caught, or it can mean I'm caught up in a lot of things. I'm really busy.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
So if I say William po achshav, ken aval hu tafus. Yes, but he's tafus. He's busy. He's not available. Also tafus, we use this in modern Hebrew to indicate that someone's not available for a date. They may be dating somebody else right now. Hu tafus achshav. So because we're always making matches, right? So right. We call it in English. We call it being busy. No, she's busy right now. That means she's seeing somebody. Who's busy right now. So in Hebrew we say hu tafus. But it also means caught. Hu tafas et hakadur haya tafus. He caught the ball was caught. Now we're getting to active, passive. That's grammar. I don't want to go there.
Right.
So,
okay.
Lefamim ani anak. So I'll let you see if you can take a guess at what anak is. Look at the symmetry, the proportion of the picture.
Right. Anak. I don't know. So lefamim again is what?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I'm a giant.
Oh, I was actually focusing on the little girl. That's funny.
No, lefamim ani anak.
I see. Okay.
He's a giant, rather strange looking one. Velefamim fasfus.
You're right. Gotcha.
Fasfus. A fasfus is a toddler.
Gotcha.
So that's a slang word in Israel. It's you don't hear it that often, but it's meant in this context. And then we go back, of course, to the and this should not be here. This slide should not be here. So I'm just going to do this right here and drop it out right now. Delete that slide. There we go. And back over to here. And we're back. Okay, it's back to the chorus. So now let's go through the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. What I just did, I should not have done. Because I actually put it in there for a reason.
Okay.
That's really funny. That's really, really funny. So I'm going to have to go back up to the... Let's go back up to the top. So here's what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Could you put on the song?
Yes, I can.
And I'm going to go through the slides
That
because
you
I can
just-
hear the song as
You
you
just
play
want
it.
the audio on so that the viewers are watching your slides, or you want them to watch the video?
Yes. Right now, let's just do the audio,
Okay, got it.
and then we'll go back one more time and we'll watch it with the video. Okay? So.
Very good. Here goes.
לפעמים אני עצוב ולפעמים שמח, לפעמים אני זוכר ולפעמים שוכח, לפעמים אני שבע, לפעמים רעב, לפעמים אני כועס ולפעמים אוהב, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני גדול ולפעמים
קטן,
לפעמים אני גיבור ולפעמים
פחדן,
לפעמים אני ביחד, לפעמים
לבד,
לפעמים אני באמצע, לפעמים
בצד,
אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני כינור ולפעמים
תופים,
לפעמים אני קיצי ולפעמים
חופי,
לפעמים אני עצלן ולפעמים
חרוץ,
לפעמים אני מתוק ולפעמים
חמוץ,
אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני,
תמיד נשאר אני,
תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני חכם ולפעמים
טיפשי,
לפעמים אני ראשון ולפעמים
שלישי,
לפעמים אני תופס ולפעמים
דפוס,
לפעמים אני ענק ולפעמים
פספוס,
אבל אני
תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני.
That's awesome.
It's a very cute song, very popular in Israeli culture. Everybody knows this song, and it's a great way to learn these. A lot of these are what we call high-frequency words. And one of the, sibot, the reasons that I chose this song, was because it has so many high-frequency words in it. Now, there are obviously ones that are not high-frequency. Fasfus is clearly not one. But how do you remember that a fasfus is a toddler? Well, in American English, most people know what a papoose is, right? That's an American Indian word for a little kid, right?
Okay.
That was usually wrapped up and put on the back of the mother when they were training, the papoose. Could be that, most people don't watch Westerns anymore, like I grew up with Bonanza, right? So and everybody's going, white exploitation of the West. Okay, fine. Not going there.
That's
okay,
fine.
look at here. White, male, proud to be it, no problem. This is how I was born. Get over it. All right, so white face, brown heart. So the word papoose in I forget which, I don't know if it's Apache or flathead or which one, but it's one of the American Indian languages, was little kid. That's not a high frequency term, but many of these in here as we just go through these, like lifamim and tamid, definitely high frequency terms. Nisha, which is to remain, definitely high frequency word. Atzuv for sad, high frequency. Sameach, very high frequency, happy. Zocher, ani lo zocher. And by the way, what's interesting is with many of these, to create the opposite, if you don't remember that shocheach is the opposite of zocher, you can just say what? Ani lo zocher.
Right.
Right? Just
Yep.
put the word lamed aleph in there, lo zocher. Shocheach, lo shocheach.
Right.
Ani lo shocheach, which means I remember. Ani lo shocheach et Hashem shocha. I don't forget your name. Okay. Savea, which is not so high frequency, but this is it's not the word shavua and it's not the word sheva, but it's written almost the same way. So you have to be careful, especially without vowel points, to know from context what we're talking about here. Ra'ev, also the word ra'av, in this week's Parsha of Miketz, there was a ra'av, a famine, in the land of Canaan, which is why then Yaakov sent his sons down to buy grain, of course, and there's a whole story of the revelation then of Yosef, Hatzadik, being revealed to his brothers, coming up to get Yosef and everybody, Yaakov, and bringing them back down because of a Ra'av that was in the land. Koes, he's a good representation of that. Koes, lo koes. Ata koes. William, ata koes achshav?
Lo. Lo koes.
לא, אתה לא כועס, כן. William, אתה אוהב אותי?
אתה אוהב, what's the last part you said?
אותי.
אותי?
Me.
Me, yes, of course, I love you, man.
בטח, okay, יופי. Okay. So, a lot of high frequency words in here. Gadol, katan, lo gadol, lo katan. Gibor, the easy one to... Gidon, or Gideon, I guess you say in English. Gidon was a gibor.
Gotcha.
Shimshon, or Samson, was a gibor in the biblical. Dvorah was a giborah. She was a shofetet. She was a judge, but she was also a hero. There are other different female personalities down through Jewish history who have been giborot.
Nice.
The word giveret, by the way, is which we say to a woman, giveret, ma'am. It actually comes from this. Gever. Tie gever, be a man, they say in Israeli Hebrew. Pachdan comes from the word pachad, fear. So pachdan is somebody who's afraid. Pachdanit is the feminine form of it, by the way. There is no masculine, feminine for these two words here, biyachad and levad. We just say levad.
So biyachad means what again?
Together.
Oh, together. Oh, okay, gotcha. Right.
Okay, together.
Yeah.
And levad, alone. Here we had this one you should remember.
Lapamim. Oh, yeah, in the middle.
Okay, in the middle. So you can see the letter in the middle.
Yeah.
The second syllable of the word M. Okay, mem's in the middle. That's an easy one. Sod sounds like the English word that it is.
Or he broke down and now he's sitting on the sod.
Yes, he's sitting on the tzad, right? So, but the tzad is also the same for like the tzad hashulchan, tzad hatelephone, the side of the telephone, bitzad yamin, the right side, bitzad small, this the left side, tzad. Kinor and tupim, ketzim.
You know what I'm having issues with? I think I'm realizing, or that I'm just more confused than I think I am.
Well, if you are, somebody else is. So what is
like Yetzer Hara, for example, the evil inclination, evil side. So in my mind, I'm trying to connect these words with biblical Hebrew, and I don't.
No, it won't work.
That's what's got me twisted right now, because the only Hebrew I've ever learned was biblical Hebrew. And so I think it may be one of the reasons why I'm struggling so much, because I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to find these root words and stuff that I'm used to, and I'm not finding most of them. And some of them I am, but it's like, and then I realize it's like it's not the same thing. Like tzad, for example. Side. I'm thinking it's different.
Yes, but a yetzer is really the best inclination of it. The best meaning of it is inclination, not side.
Okay, gotcha.
So
what would be
so it's the leaning towards, or so.
Is there a biblical? What's the biblical Hebrew word for side, if there is one? I know, like Abraham.
It's a great question. I'd have to look and I have to look in my concordance and see on that. I've got.
Okay.
I have both biblical and modern here. So, or if anybody is right now watching the program live and wants to look it up in your concordance, then that's fine. I don't want to take the time to do it at the moment.
Right.
But,
yeah. Right.
But
gotcha. Okay.
I don't recall seeing. It's possible.
Right. From the other side, like
see,
Abraham,
because
maybe.
I'm thinking of Psalm 48, which talks about Yarktet Safon, sides of the north. Psalm 48, which talks about. You're right.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yarkte, yeah, that's the sides of, but that's I have not. I don't think I've seen the word sad. Maybe, but I don't recall it easily.
Gotcha.
Okay, so all these words that are here are for your review using the tools that we gave you, and those tools, of course, we suggest that you go back and watch the song. You have access to it now.
Okay.
And well, I think it'd be a good idea. Then, so we did it once with just the music. Do you have a way, by the way, to split your screen and have the song playing in one field, and if I run the words through on next to it parallel, you can do that?
I sure can. If you'll give me just a minute, go ahead and talk to us a little bit, and while I actually configure that.
Okay, so I wanted to go back to you brought up a very interesting question about you started with the biblical and you're going to the modern. It's much easier to go the other way.
Wow, gotcha.
So it'd be like someone starting to study, I don't know, Chaucerian or Elizabethan English, and then trying to learn modern English and going, peradventure, methinks that thou hast many problems, right?
Right.
So, sorry, I'm just looking over my screen here to get this thing back up here. Okay, there we go. So it's much easier to go from modern Israeli Hebrew, even the fact that it's a blend, I call it a cholent, like a casserole of many different influences.
Nice.
I gave my students a list recently of a list of, like, and if anybody wants this list, I'm happy to give it to you. 40 different, and there's hundreds of them, 40 different English words that are heavily used in Israeli Hebrew that are sort of Hebraized English words. We used one today, intelligenti, for example, absurdi, an absurd, brutali, for brutal. The list goes on and on and on. Pessimi, pessimistic. Optimi, optimistic.
Right.
Optimiut, optimism. I'm just pulling these things off the top. Fantasti. There are so many of these. It's incredible. Sometimes you hear things like jet lag, right? That's
right.
There is a word for jet lag, but they don't use it. Most of these words have pure Hebrew equivalents, but everybody likes to be cool, right? So, and there's so much impact of English on Hebrew today, modern Hebrew. So, my suggestion to people is if you want to get to biblical Hebrew, take the time to learn as much modern Hebrew as you can, because much of the grammar, the things you're learning for, like oti, otcha, otach, oto, ota, when talking about the demonstrative pronouns of me and him and her, those types of things.
Okay.
In English we have one form of you, right?
Right.
But Hebrew has 4 different forms of you. So you have to know what you're talking about. You can be specific in terms of number, and you can be specific in terms of gender.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, I am coughed or cued, if you will.
That's cute. Okay, so I will let the words kind of flow along on the side here, and
okay, very good.
And I'm ready when you are, Mr. Music.
All right, here we go. Maestro up.
לפעמים אני עצוב ולפעמים שמח, לפעמים אני זוכר ולפעמים שוכח, לפעמים אני שבע, לפעמים רעב, לפעמים אני כועס ולפעמים אוהב, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני גדול ולפעמים
קטן,
לפעמים אני גיבור ולפעמים
פחדן,
לפעמים אני ביחד, לפעמים
לבד,
לפעמים אני באמצע, לפעמים
בצד,
אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני כינור ולפעמים
תופים,
לפעמים אני קיצי ולפעמים
חופי,
לפעמים אני עצלן ולפעמים
חרוץ,
לפעמים אני מתוק ולפעמים
חמוץ,
אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. לפעמים אני חכם ולפעמים
טיפשי,
לפעמים אני ראשון ולפעמים
שלישי,
לפעמים אני תופס ולפעמים
תפוס,
לפעמים אני ענק ולפעמים
פספוס. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני. אבל אני תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני, תמיד נשאר אני.
And here it comes up on the delay here. So,
I was thinking, did I click something that I was just totally not aware of? That's funny.
No, I just wanted to monitor the stream here. And,
That's nice.
so the stream is monitored, so it's working very nicely. I love the way I'm just looking at how you did it on there, and it lays out just very nicely.
Oh, good. Good.
Of course, I have to watch what I'm doing with myself here, like no nose things going on or whatever. So
yeah, I hear that too. Yeah, very good.
All right, so I hope this, אני מקווה שזה משהו שעזר לאנשים היום. I hope this was something that was helpful to people today. In my own experience of learning Hebrew, songs played a huge role because, as we all know from learning our first language, music is like the carrier wave of a radio, and then the message is embedded in that carrier wave. So this is the same thing with the brain works the same way with learning a new language. So anchoring it with, even if you don't understand all the fine points, don't worry about fine points of grammar right now. It's the last thing you need to be thinking about. Just focus on comprehension. That's why we put the pictures in there. So and gave you different ways to remember it.
Right.
I use a lot of these different things. When I talk about, I taught some students recently. I said, we use wild, wacky ways to remember things. Like, for example, did you hear about the culture where everybody wears one boot? They walk around wearing one boot, and that boot is made out of tar. Can you imagine a culture where everybody's walking around with tar boots on? Who wants to wear a tar boot? What a wacky culture. Tar boot culture.
Oh, nice.
Easy to remember.
Yeah,
okay, it goes in, and you hold. Those are like training wheels for the brain until you don't need them anymore because you've had so many repetitions of tarbut that you don't need the device anymore. With what does a cop eat? Do you know what a cop eats with?
What he eats with? Other cops.
Eats with,
I'm just kidding. No. at the donut shop. I'm just kidding.
At the donut shop. No, a cop eats with a really big spoon.
Okay.
That's what he eats with. Kapit, spoon.
Okay, got it.
So
nice.
I in my classes I use as many of these as I can to create these anchor points in the brain.
That's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Well, they're very visual. They're known. The whole principle, the purpose of education is take a person from the known to the unknown. That's bottom line, number one concept of pedagogy, known to the unknown. And when people approach a language, they tend to get fearful because they go, "Oh my gosh, how can I do this?" But what we've done today with the pictures and the repetition and the games and the other things that I've folded in with some of these tools that I've provided you, you can get this much faster. And now you can go back with this particular program and look at the minute point where the song just began with the video, and then the words went on the screen concurrently, and you can use that as a visual for yourself to go back through and review it. It's only like 2.5 minute song or whatever, and then you can use the Quizlet and try it in the different forms that are there, from the learning segment, the learning modality, to the flashcards, to whatever you got there. And if that works, if that helps you, would you please let me know? And like I said before, this is one of those programs where you really should get the PDF of it. So if you'll write me at Gavriel Sanders, Gavriel Sanders, like Colonel. Right, I get called that all the time. Gavriel Sanders at gmail.com. You can, I'll get that right out to you. Okay, so just happy to do it. So, in fact, tonight and tomorrow is a good day because I have a little extra time.
Nice.
So once again, is there anything? But I don't know if anybody's around even on the live stream. Any questions that are coming up? Anything you want to say in closing, William?
No. Well, other than just, I'm glad you told me it's easier to learn like modern Hebrew. Or contemporary, what do you call it?
Ivrit.
Yeah, just Ivrit in general. First, before biblical Hebrew. And I think some people that I've met, like for example, for for about 1.5 years, we did Hebrew classes here in my home, where I was teaching them what little that I did know. And and my first question to them is, why do you want to learn Hebrew? And pretty much all of them, hands down, was, I just want to know what the biblical Hebrew says. And so I was like, well, cool, I can help you then. Because with contemporary, all I could do is teach them the alphabet and the vowels, and then just tell them, go start memorizing words. That's all I could tell them, or phrases, because I really didn't know anything else to work with at that point. So so that's good to know that it's actually easier to start with speaking regular speaking Hebrew than biblical Hebrew.
So let me give you the sequence then, to kind of help yourself, and this is for everybody listening. There's a science and there's an art to language.
Okay.
And most of us have been improperly exposed to language learning, dismally so. We've been taught that we have to memorize lists of disparate, or disparate, wherever syllable you want to put the emphasis on, where lists of disconnected words and grammar rules, and we're supposed to put those together and produce comprehensible sentences. And it doesn't work that way. The brain says, give me lots of input, like that movie with number 5, the little robot,
Yeah, right.
So the brain wants massive amounts of input to produce a trickle of output. And there's 2 input stages. One is what you're doing right now, you're listening. The other is what we've been doing right here on the screen with the Pismon Choser, the chorus. You're reading, okay? And so for some of you, you look at these words on the screen, you go, oh great, I can read that. Others of you looking at that on the screen going, will I ever be able to read that? There aren't enough vowel points on there for me. How do I know if that's aval or evil, or what do I know what that word is? And that comes from exposure, okay? And that's just a simple matter of time. We have a beautiful expression in Hebrew that says, "Ma shelo yaseh sechel yaseh hazman." What wisdom won't do, or intelligence won't do, time will do. It's like we say, time will tell.
Gotcha.
So when I recommend to people that learning modern Hebrew is really the way to go, it's because tons and tons of content hasn't changed in 3,000 years.
Right,
ani, I think so many of these words are aval. That's in biblical Hebrew. Ani, biblical. Tamid, biblical. Nisha. I'm sure we can find it somewhere. So you'll find so many of these high frequency words, and that's the other thing you want to focus on. Even if you're just not going to learn modern Hebrew and you're going to say, well, I just really want to focus on biblical Hebrew. Well, where do you focus? The opening verses of the book of Genesis. You really want to focus on high frequency verbs and nouns.
Gotcha.
Now there are lists of those, and if somebody wants a list of that, I know someone who did that online. It's broken down by nouns and verbs, and I can if that's something you want, I'll send you that.
Yeah, actually, I personally would like that myself.
Okay, so just send me. No, that's Gavriel Sanders@gmail.com. Operators are standing by now. Don't forget your schug. It definitely increases some intelligence quotient. If it doesn't burn your sinuses out, it'll definitely make you smarter. It's like, I'm not going to eat that again. That's a smart thing for some of you. So the process of learning a language second language is no different than learning a first language. Lots of listening, lots of input. Then you go to output, and output consists of speaking and writing. And most of you aren't going to necessarily be writing Hebrew, but you might want to be speaking it. And we have some formulas for that as well. But don't try to do all 4 things of listening, reading, speaking, and writing simultaneously or in parallel. Your brain will rebel and say, you know what, I'm out of here. Ani lo oseh et zeh. Ani lo oseh et zeh. I'm just not going to do this.
Okay.
So, and I know that from teaching my classes. I have honors Hebrew that I teach, and I have low-level Hebrew that I teach. And in my classes, especially at the lower levels, if I ask a question or make a statement and I get a ken or lo, and I know that they understood what I said, that's all I'm looking for is comprehensibility.
Cool.
Okay, that's what we do with you. So, anything on the screen from anybody watching? I haven't even looked to see.
No, there was a few watching. They just said hi. Said it's good to see everybody. So, welcome everybody. Okay,
that's
well,
it. It's a wrap for the show.
You.
Thank you very much. We're just past just right at an hour, so thank you everyone for coming and being with us.
That's wonderful.
Well, I don't know when the next show will be. Our ketziv, our rhythm is not on a weekly basis, but even if we do this one, what I've given you now for some of you, it's a month's worth of work.
Agreed. In fact, I was thinking that myself. I was thinking even if we did just do once a month show, like the first Sunday of each month, that would be easy for people to remember, etc. And then if we were able to pull off more than one in a month, it'd just be an extra bonus for everybody. So
a bonus. Cool. Exactly right. All right.
Okay, my friend. Shalom, shalom.
Chag Chanukah Sameach. Bye-bye. Shavua Tov.
Thank you.
Chodesh Tov. It's a new month also.
Chodesh Tov.
Tevet.
All right.
Chodesh Tov.
Shalom, shalom. Take care, everybody.
חשוב מכל חשוב והכרחי להיות ביחד. איפוק זו העוצמה, ויתור זו הגדולה, השאיפה